All right, hello YouTube. Killing for Company, episode 2. I'm on the clock. So hopefully the sound levels will be better this time around. In the background here, we will soon enough as this record gets rolling, be listening to Werian with Animist. This is off of Eisenwald Records in 2019. So it's kind of a Black Doom project out of Germany. Really cool stuff. Let's jump into it. So next up, the albums we're going to be talking about here are just going to be from the beginning part of 2020. I think I may have mentioned that last year, but I'll just talk about the records that I've had the most amount of time with and kind of go through the year in 2020 before moving into 21 here and so forth. This is Necrobode with, let me get this title right. It's in Portuguese. Sob o Feitiço do Necrobode. So Under the Spell of Necrobode, a Portuguese bestial black metal act. This was released from On Iron Bonehead Records in February of 2020. Basically playing in the tradition of Archgoat, Beherit. There's also some sort of influence from Vaughn or Blood. So, all right, hopefully that shows up this time around. It's one of those deals where there's nothing too complicated about this. I just love the style, and every single year I'm looking for some cool bestial black metal. This scratched an itch for me early in 2020. 3-piece. If you dig Archgoat and some other bands that I just mentioned there, this is absolutely cool stuff. Riffs that you can remember. It's just not an absolute wash of noise. Really cool stuff. So that is Necrobode. After that, I've got Khazad-dûm here. This is a funeral doom band from the UK. So this is a Tolkien-themed project. The entire album was based off of the bridge of Khazad-dûm from Lord of the Rings. What makes it unique is, unlike a lot of the funeral doom that simply has like a focal point or a central player when it comes to a vocal approach, this is very much a the whole is greater than the sum of the parts sort of deal. There's backing chorals, sung parts, high-pitched screams, and the sort of the deep guttural lows. It sort of talks about, I would say, or it has an element of black metal to it. What I mean by that is there's like an element where they'll start to blast beat, jump into something, and that juggernaut sort of takes flight, which is pretty unique for a funeral doom band. That sort of approach really was unique for me here. Another release from I Hate Records in February. A concept funeral doom band with some new elements to it. If you were trying to stay away from like your more traditional funeral doom releases, Khazad-dûm is one to gravitate towards. If you like more traditional funeral doom, this may be a little bit strange for you, but something that really piqued my interest early in the year. Next up, some more, I don't know if you want to call it weird. This is Saltas, a project by Leif Rudolfsson. So he's one of the central people for Rune Magic and the Funeral Orchestra. And Saltas is a newer project. It sounds like all the spare parts like strange or eccentric ideas that never made it to a Rune Magic or Funeral Orchestra record. And they just took those ideas, threw it into a blast furnace, and sort of the molten lava that spewed out of it turned into this record. It's sort of shapeless, strange kind of like invertebrate ambient or like drone, in the sense that you don't get the same kind of like the percussion or the drums don't drive anything. It just sort of lumps and folds across the floor. But a really unique record. I remember, like Ride for Revenge has like a hypnotic sort of repetitive element to their noise or their sound. Saltas has a little bit of that, where it just sort of drones or doesn't give you a whole lot to sort of sink your teeth into and then drive forward with. So you really just kind of have to enjoy sort of the strange noise pouring out of the speakers. Very interesting listen. If you are a fan of Rune Magic or the Funeral Orchestra and you come to this record, it may not be your sort of thing, but a very interesting listen. And if you're up for something a little bit different, definitely check out Saltas. They came out with a second record here at the end of 2020, but I haven't spent a whole lot of time with it, so I just picked up this record, Salis, Opus 1, Saltas. All right. Both records by Necrobode and Saltas are on black, so nothing too special there for you. Next up is Depraver. So this is Martyrs to an Absent Savior, and this came on, I believe, Fake Analog Music was the label that put out this tape. Originally an independent digital release on Bandcamp. They play, like, I was hungry for, it's hard to find good thrash music, and they play like a style of thrash that's somewhere like a very strong rhythm section like Francis Protector, but it'd also be at home with a lot of the younger death metal acts coming out of California. So bands on Sewer Rot or Transylvania Tapes. They're very young as well, just a 2012 demo, 2019 EP, and then this EP in 2020. Redefining Darkness Records compiled the previous EP and demo, put that together out on a CD, which I have here as well. But if you like that sort of, I'm going to call it a thrash metal record first, or sound first, but there's definitely some elements of black metal and death metal as well. Sort of like a heavier version of Necromantheon, if you're familiar with that project. So really cool stuff. I can't wait for them to put out a full length. They need to get signed, so someone needs to get on that. I don't know if Redefining Darkness will pick them up for a full length here in 2021 or the near future, but sign that band, please. And if you dig great, like heavy, aggressive thrash metal, please check out Depraver. You will absolutely appreciate this. So last, we got Feminazgul, No Dawn for Men. This is an American black metal act, or atmospheric black metal act, out of Asheville, North Carolina. I will show you the vinyl here. This is kind of like a olive green splatter there. So they've got a really cool sound. I would call it an atmospheric or raw black metal band, but that would kind of be a disservice. How do I say this? Okay, so I feel Panopticon kind of opened a door into what US black metal could potentially become. Instead of just being influenced by, European bands, it took a little bit of, American folklore and introduced it into a black metal act with that kind of like Appalachian sort of folk bluegrass sound. Feminazgul take that and sort of spin their own sort of web with it. It's pulling from like really cool American traditions. You know, you have like Transcendentalism in the Northeast, or the American Gothic in the South. Essentially, that Appalachian, that mountain range. You know, you feel all the sort of American traditions and history on this record. Really cool stuff. You know, it was originally a digital release in March, and then Tridroid Records picked it up on vinyl, and I snatched it up as soon as I could. Love that record. One of my favorite black metal albums here in 2020. So, or I say last year in 2020. That's all I have for you today. I'm trying to make these short and sweet. I hope you dig it. To anyone who left a comment, thank you so much. Anyone who stopped by, you know, had something to say or just gave me a like. My first video last time around. So subscribe, like, comment. At this point, any sort of feedback you have for me, since I'm brand new to this, is welcome. It means a whole lot that you're watching. For those who took the time to sit down with a video and you know, check out Killing for Company. So episode 2 in the books. Thank you very much. See you guys next time.